Yeah. Hey. 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 Hello. How are you? Are you doing well? Good. Glad to hear it. I used to always start every podcast I used to do the MI stuff was, hey, how's it going? You doing well? Good. Glad to hear it. Just came out just like that. Let's get over here. Pop this guy out. Bam. Did y'all hear that? Boy, that. What I'm telling you, that felt nice. That felt nice. What's up, Pooter Mana Scooter? Pooter Mana Scooter. Roadkill. Bill Dog. I truly hope you all are well today. This is, I don't know how long we're going to be doing this for, but we're here for now. I had made up my mind. I've been in this funk these last few days, per the usual. You know, that's my normal That's my normal, the going rate. So I made it my point to do this today. There was a couple of shifts at work that were available for pickup tonight, and I feel a little shitty about not going in. But I didn't get out of bed until 6 p.m. tonight, so it was too late. But yes, I will begin this right now by saying that the Patreon is doing well. We're up to 15 patrons right now. 15 folks. 15 living, breathing individuals have become a patron. And speaking of which, Jason, the greatest patron of all, is here. Jason can vouch for this in the chat. We're doing some cool things over at the Patreon. You'll get my nicely recorded secret show sets on Thursdays, and you also get just a couple of other check-ins every now and again. I'll do a little shower talk where I'll set up a camera to catch from about here up in the shower and talk about just whatever's going on in my life and just get my thoughts out, the shower thoughts. And yeah, also anytime I stream live at work, if you don't catch that live on YouTube, those go to my Patreon. So if you don't catch them live there, they are available for replay over on the Patreon. And also, your boy is on Cameo. Your boy is on Cameo now. So how about come on over to the Cameo, will you? Y'all get a Cameo for you. I get you a little Cameo for you. If you want to do a Cameo, I can get it for you. Hells yeah. Bad joke. I didn't even make a joke. I didn't even make a joke yet, Panic Studio. You're causing a panic. I haven't even made a joke yet. I'm just telling you about my Patreon and my Cameo. Because I'm proud of it. I actually did a Cameo video for a guy. He posted it on the Kill Tony Reddit. So if you guys want to watch that, it's on the Kill Tony subreddit. You might have to scroll a little bit, but it was a fun little thing. I had to I talked to William because William was the subject of this Cameo, and I figured as much because I on YouTube, the clip that has the most views with me in it is about doing the impression of William. So I assume that I'd probably have to do a lot of these things, but the very first one that I completed on time, there was one that I had. I've done 2 so far. And the first guy probably still doesn't even know that he has a Cameo there because I haven't heard anything back from him. And I did it for free because it expired. So I just sent him one for free. And it was like a wizardy thing. But, yeah, the William Montgomery thing, a guy asked for me to do a bedtime story involving William Montgomery battling a dragon on behalf of a princess. And it turned out pretty funny. Hell yeah. Welcome, Jason Black and Blue, Rhino. Rhino in the house. Hey, is everybody doing well? Hope everybody is doing well. I got my Mr. Beast cup. Hype Beast. Subscribe to Mr. Beast. But don't just subscribe to Mr. Beast. Subscribe to me. Give me that thumbs up, guys. Give me click the little like button. Click the little like button. Click the like. Subscribe. Share. Share the videos. Share them out into the world. One day we'll be like Mr. Beast. We'll have our face on a cup. Hell yeah, Monday morning coffee and bowls. I put this in my story the other day. The Mr. Beast burger. I put it in my story and I tagged Mr. Beast burger in it and Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast burger sent me back a reply of a bunch of fire emojis. So I was excited about that. Yeah, we're scammers over here. What we do is we tell people, hey, come to this YouTube channel and you'll get share. You'll get share. And then we get them here and then we take advantage of the fact that they thought they were going to get share. All right, Panic, we'll give you a wrench. Monday morning coffee and bowls, all good in Asia Town. Hell yeah, good to hear. Neat, nice, smiley, excited smiley, I think. I don't know. How about this? Y'all know what we're here for. It's the smoking chat. Do you have your items prepared for smoking? Because I sure do, and I'm lighting it up right now, y'all. I'm lighting it up right now. I'm going to beat this GB till it's black and blue. Did you get that? That's a chat reference there. A reference to the chat. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, so it's been interesting this past week. After the new year, I have this. I think that everybody does the same thing. Let me know how you guys feel about this. But like the days between Christmas and New Year's, the days between Christmas and New Year's should be spent. How do you say? You shouldn't. I don't know. I guess I'm just, for 18 years of my life, pretty much, I did nothing on those days between Christmas and New Year's, and then probably for some years after. You do nothing between Christmas and New Year's. And this year, I had literally worked day after Christmas. I worked that whole week. Day after Christmas was a Tuesday, and then I worked all week, and I worked on New Year's night, and I have this thing in my mind that makes me feel like I have to like if I work a lot, I have to like also not work a lot. I'm very yin-yangy, if that makes any sense. Like very much the yin-yang of where if I do something, I have to equally or the equal amount do nothing, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I kind of this week I worked Tuesday or maybe not. Maybe I just worked Wednesday. I don't know which day I worked. Oh yeah, it was Wednesday that I worked because it was Wednesday I worked because that was the night of the open mic, and I definitely went up on the mic. Had a really good set Wednesday night. This group walked in right as I was going on stage, and like I said a joke, and this dude heckled, and like instead of just shutting him down, I asked him like what he meant, like what happened, and then he gave an answer about cocaine, and I just started ranting about coke, and it was hilarious. But yeah, so Wednesday I worked, Thursday did secret show, then I gave up my shift on Friday. thinking, oh, well, there's a shift available on Saturday that I might take. But anyway, that shift on Saturday got taken already. So I was like, okay, well, maybe there will be one on Sunday. And there were actually two today. And I feel like I feel like I let people down because, like, not that I was supposed to be there, but I could have been. Like, I could have been if I would have just forced myself to go to bed at a reasonable hour. And what's crazy is that going to bed at a reasonable hour for me is like being in bed by 5 a.m. So, like, I could have done better, and I could have been there, and I'll find a way to make it up to the people that wanted to not be there, that had to be. And you know what's funny is, and I kind of do this, is like I kind of make up for that by just doing the most when I'm there. Like, I always do the stuff that no one else wants to do. And I think I've said this a bunch on here. Like being downstairs, out in the, on the street. Not a lot of guys like to be down there for some reason. I enjoy it a lot, but a lot of guys don't like it, so I'll do that. But I didn't like it at first, I just did it because nobody else wanted to. And then I just kind of fell in love with it. And it's kind of the same thing as like doing the bathrooms, because I don't mind doing that. I'll clean the fucking toilets, dude. I don't mind. I really don't. And just because I think it just adds to the story. Like when I get to like I get to the end of the night and that needs to be done, like I don't mind doing it. But when I get to the end of my wherever this ends up, it'd be cool to say, yeah, I used to clean the fucking toilets at the comedy club. And I did. One time I was mopping and Tony and Rogan and a bunch of people walked out. I do have good gloves. Tony and Rogan and a bunch of people walked out of the green room, and I was mopping, just having a good time, and I just heard my name, and I looked up, and Tony was saying, "Never lose that, Yonder." Just, you look at this guy, just out here mopping the floors, just happy as can be. I was literally mopping and smiling. I think I was just, cause like a crazy person, but it was just a cool moment that I had, like one of the first times where like I remember, like I look up and like all my heroes are just looking at me mop. Like Joe's standing there, Tony was there, like several other people. That Rolodex of comedians is vast. Every story that I tell one day is going to sound like a name drop just because, man, my life's tight. But, yeah. But yeah, when I get to the end of this thing, having that podcast on Rogan one day, we're talking about, yeah, man, I cleaned the toilets. Yeah. Honestly, well, our bathrooms, if I work a few days in a row, our bathrooms never get bad. Because I do take pride in it, and this is a corny thing to say, but I watch a lot of people's stories and on Instagram, and I'll see somebody's story, and I see a lot of our girl comics and a lot of our like female staff that take a lot of selfies, like bathroom selfies, and I know the bathroom because I clean it, and they take a lot of those in there, and I always like pride myself in knowing that like we have a clean enough bathroom, like it's clean enough to do photo shoots in, as corny as it sounds. I make sure to Windex the mirrors. Like I take very good care to do things the right way. And the world needs ditch diggers too, Danny. That's too. Very true. But yeah, everybody's got to do that stuff. But I don't honestly don't mind doing it. It's like it's a thing. Like we literally do like, and this is I don't know how this is gonna come across to people who might get offended by it that I work with, but like our club, like when you walk in, it's not like it's not. It doesn't look like a pristine joint. You know what I mean? It looks like it's homey. It's comfortable, but it feels homey in there. But then our bathrooms are like really nice, kind of. Like our bathrooms are pretty sweet. Like it's like our bathrooms are tight. They really are. Like our counters are nice marble tops, and like the mirrors are cool. There's somebody scratched graffiti into the men's bathroom, but you just I don't know. I take pride in making sure that those things are clean. Because the lights are low inside, you walk into the bathroom and the lights are just shining bright. So if it's dirty, it's obviously dirty. And I do get upset and I yell a lot at the guys that I do yell a lot at some of the other guys where I'm just like, guys, you gotta like, you can't just walk in here and do the bare minimum and walk away. Like that's not what this is about. Like that's not cool. That's not a cool thing to do. You can't just walk in here and literally do the bare minimum and walk away. And I'm I'm gonna go back to work on Tuesday. I got 4 days this week, which is good. So I'm gonna go back. I made up my mind mentally. I'm gonna do that, and if anybody needs off Sunday, I'm gonna take Sunday too. But yeah, I think that I've said this several times. Like I've got some years on a lot of these guys, and I come from an era where I worked like regular jobs for a long time before I started doing the music exclusively. Like I literally, the last job I had before I started playing music was what just happened? It faulted. You know what? Here, let's I'm gonna close that window. I'm gonna redo this thing. There we go. Casio. But yeah, like you have to take your time to do things. Like if you don't, what are you doing? You can't just go through life just trying to rush through everything that you're doing. That's no fun. But yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted when the thing stopped. As crazy as it sounds, like my mind kind of goes haywire for a second when that playlist behind me stops. Did you guys notice how I just kind of knew? Like I roll back the tapes. It just kind of I noticed that it was gone, and it fucked with me. So where were we at in this? But we don't want it to come out of that. We want it to come out of that TV, so we will change the audio device to that behind me. There we go. That's close enough. Yeah, it got me to got me there. Anyway, I got distracted. Back to the story I was telling. Forgive me. I I worked regular jobs. Like when I got was first stopped doing music or first started doing music, I I bartended for a little while in that era, but I used to do pest control. Like I would crawl houses. I was a termite and bed bug guy. Like I would literally go into people's bed bug infested house and crawl up under their termite infested house, and like it was like I worked real jobs. I did landscaping for a while. I would edge, weed eat, and blow off the yard. That was my duty with the landscaping. And then I there was a while I did that freelance by myself, like for my buddies' rental properties. Yeah, like there was I came from an era where I did real jobs, you know. And I don't think a lot of the guys that I work with had any kind of like workforce experience or being part of a workforce. Yeah, I was the keeper of grounds and keys at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry for over 40 years. You know, so I just bring that kind of energy with me when I go to work. By the way, I have another one of these GBs packed up. This isn't a knit and chat. You know, this isn't a paint the walls and chat. This isn't necessarily a you know, I can't think. I thought it would come to me. This is a smoking chat. So get your items ready, guys. Get your items ready. We'll have about a minute or so. I'm gonna spark this thing up shortly. But yeah, that for that reason, I don't really hold it against. Yeah, we're not. This isn't basket weaving in chat. That's a good one. Basket weaving is good. That's funny. That just being said, after a week of not doing them, I'll go back to work and I'll probably have to take about an extra 5 minutes on them, which doesn't seem like a lot of time because it isn't. But when it only takes about 10 minutes to do them in total, and it does take that time. My method is I go in, I will spray the mirrors, do the mirrors first, and then I will spray the countertops, hit the countertops, and dude, we use this really nice Method pink grapefruit cleaner spray. It's really, really nice. I like it a lot. Smells good. But I'll clean the sinks, the counters, the faucets, and then I will go and I will clean the paper dispensers in the stalls, the flusher knob. I clean the flusher knob and I do all of that. The stuff that is clean that people touch. And then I clean the actual bowl, the toilet bowl, and go underneath the inside with the toilet gel. That is the whole process. And it sounds like but in the women's, I have to go through and have to change the bags out of the little personal garbage disposals. Personal disposals in the bathroom. The personal trash can in the bathroom for the ladies to put their personal items. The personal wall-mounted can in the women's stalls, the personal disposal containers. I have to go change out those bags. That takes a little bit of time. Because if you don't put the bag in the thing right, then the stuff that gets put in there goes past the bag and goes inside, and we just don't want to reach inside and grab things out. The personal garbage can. Y'all, for real, I'm I want these things. I want these things to be clean. I want them to be clean. But sometimes I walk in there and I notice that there are no bags in the things. And ladies have continued to put their personal items into the can with no bag, and it infuriates me. I will yell about that. And I don't like to be the person that yells about things. But I will yell about that. And the point that I'm trying to make is that I think I come from a different era. And not only that, but I come from a different era even for the age that I grew up in, because in rural South Carolina, I don't know if you guys know, if people who aren't from a rural area, let's go ahead and spark up these GBs. Sparking them. Oh, yeah, I got rubber gloves. We definitely have rubber gloves for sure. But the people who don't come from rural areas of the South especially, it's literally about 30 years removed. We're about 30 years, maybe not that much, maybe 15 to 20 years removed from modern things. So, like, for instance, when I grew up in the 80s and 90s, I remember a lot of brown. And Red Band made a point one day. He's like, yeah, that's because they hadn't updated, because the 70s was brown. That's because you had all the stuff from the 70s. In, like, you have, like, I don't know, you have, like, all the stuff from the 70s that never got updated. So I even come from, like, the way people did stuff in the 80s and 90s is how it still kind of went in Bennettsville on up until the, after the 2000s. What happened? Did I plan something perfect? Did I plan something perfect? Maybe. Oh, I see what it was. It was probably Stanley Uris in the bathtub, wasn't it? What was I saying? Basically, oh, yeah. Stanley Uris, who couldn't handle the fact that Pennywise had returned and decided to dispose of himself as to not have to return to Derry. I really like Stephen King, man. But I really like the story of It. I have talked about this a lot. I really like Stranger Things and, like, Fear Street. Those, like, coming of age horror. And I think that it's because I had, like, a terrifying childhood myself. So it's, in a weird way, it's comforting to me to see other children go through those, like, go through hardships, like, in these shows. Like, it makes me feel like, okay, so it wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't like, It's not exactly the same, obviously, but I don't know. It's just, it makes me feel less alone in the fact that my childhood was fucking weird, you know? I enjoy Stranger Things. Stranger Things season 5 is going to be coming out soon, too. I'm very stoked about that. It's been really cool. Harry Potter. Harry Potter was another huge thing. I don't know. Very cool. The Shining is strong. I like The Shining. I really like Doctor Sleep. I think Doctor Sleep was one of the better sequels I've ever seen. It's a really enjoyable watch. It's a good, nice adaptation. I think they did well with that. Do you guys, have any of you guys seen Doctor Sleep? Oh, The Stand. I remember Christine. I haven't seen it in a long time. My introduction to Stephen King was just hearing his name and, like, obviously knowing who he was. I knew It. But other than It, I really didn't know a whole lot of other Stephen King. At this point in my life, when I was in, I would say, middle school, probably 6th grade, I always liked going to the library. I was a library kid. And I would go to a library and just like go around and pick something and read a little. I would like just open the book to a random spot and just read a little bit of it and figure out whether or not I liked it or not. But I did that to the Dark Tower series, Stephen King's, The Gunslinger. And the Dark Tower was what really got me into Stephen King. The Gunslinger, and they're doing that now. They're doing a Gunslinger. I think it's a mini series, but that's gonna be incredible. But I remember doing that when I was a kid. I was obsessed with serial killers as well at a young age, which is strange. But I was obsessed with it. And I would read like about Pee Wee Gaskins, who was a serial killer that actually lived in the town that I was living in at the time. He was like the South's Ed Gein, if you will. He was like a weird guy. Drove a hearse up and down Main Street in Latta, 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 South Carolina was where I lived at the time. That's where my stepdad's from. Why was there such a boom of serial killers in a couple of decades? I believe that it's because it was made to look so cool. Like, and I know that this is not a cool thing to say, but dude, they're like, they were so romanticized. Like I remember, this was in the late 90s, mid to late 90s when I got into all of this stuff. And, man, I'm telling you, dude, it was just, there was a reason I was into it, you know? Like I had to like go like with my guidance counselor, and like they were talking to me and they made me go like see somebody because of just how interested I was in this stuff. Like I literally had to do that. But it's like I was very much obsessed with it when I was a kid. And I'm sure that there were so many other people that got obsessed with it that never had somebody come up to them and be like, hey, so, like, what's the deal with this? And you're just like, oh, no, I'm just interested. I just want to know why they did what they did, yada, yada. I'm curious. And I'm like, okay, we're just making sure. Like, you never had any weird thoughts. I'm like, dude, what are you, a pervert? Like, come on. But I'm sure a lot of other people did not have someone like that. And, I'm sure a lot of people didn't have someone to, like, check them, you know, like make sure they were good or make sure they were okay and make sure they weren't thinking these weird things. And they went out into the world and probably became serial killers. But I'm saying the romanticization of romanticization. Is that a word? Did we just make a word? The romanticization of the serial killers, I think, probably made them, it created a bunch of them, I think. So the Atlanta missing and murdered children era, I remember hearing my Aunt Marie was a black girl, and this was during the era where it was like, I think they were black children, wasn't it? It was black children that were being murdered in Atlanta and missing. Hell yeah, good to know. My Aunt Marie, who was adopted, was black, and I remember that they used to pick on her when they would drive from South Carolina to Alabama. And because they were like, "Oh, the killer's gonna get you," like, and it was just this was in the 70s, early 80s. Well, this was like, how long? If I had to guess, that era probably, that was probably during the early 80s, early mid 80s, probably was when that was happening. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, they used to like make fun of Marie and be like, "Oh, you better get down when we go through Atlanta. So they'll see you and they'll try to get you." And it was just, they would tease her. What's funny is, like, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's racist to tease," but it wasn't like that. It was brothers teasing their little sister, which is what brothers do. That's what big brothers do. Yeah, watch out, Tony. There's somebody around here getting dudes. Look a lot like you. Tony got off on Rainy Street. Yeah, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we got down that road. But I've always been very interested in stuff like that. And let's backtrack this. I was talking about the library kid getting in. So Stephen King, it was, right? Yeah, getting into Stephen King, Gunslingers. So good. I kind of miss the library sometimes, but a library was a cool thing you could go do when you're a kid. Like, you can go just hang out at a library, and I guess you could as an adult, but you can't. I don't know. I just feel so weird about going to places like that as an adult and just being there as an adult by myself. But I used to do that all the time. I don't know. I used to do it all the time when I was growing up. I loved being in a library. It was fun. Just the smell of the books, like the smell of the pages. Like, I would just love going over to a book that hadn't been opened in a while and just like fanning the pages under my nose. I love that so much. Yeah, post up in the children's book section. I'll read some children's tales to them, and I don't even have to be a trans woman. Yeah, yeah, they did. The libraries used to smell so incredible, all of these books, and now they just smell like trans people. That's a funny bit. I might say that on stage. Hi, boy, I remember going back to the library when I was growing up, and just the smell of all the books, just walking up and down the rows of books, and now it just smells like trans people. That's funny. That's a funny thought. That's gonna work on stage. I sparked up another GB, by the way, like I needed it. I did not need it. Oh, bathrooms. Somebody asked earlier, are the bathrooms at a comedy club better than those at a bar? And I've worked at bars for a really long time during the beginning era of my music, like mid-20s. I worked at a bar in Murrells Inlet, managed it for a long time. Before that, I was just there. So out of the comedy clubs and the bars and at Starbucks I worked at, people destroyed the bathroom at Starbucks, y'all. That bathroom at Starbucks was the dirtiest bathroom I ever had to fucking clean because it was a single stall. Like, you open a door and it's just one toilet, one sink, and it wasn't like a vast Buc-ee's bathroom. And it's like when they're in there by themselves and it's just one person, it's almost like no one can see me or hear me do what I'm doing, so I can just wreck this place. The women's bathroom is considerably dirtier at the end of the night than the men's, by the way. And play it like it lies, ladies. Y'all are much dirtier in the bathroom than men are. And that's just all there is to it. And another thing is that women don't wash their hands. And a lot of people might go, oh, that's not true. Bullshit. And I know because I changed the paper towels in the bathrooms. The men's paper towel, it has to be changed, I think, 2 to 1. Like, they have to be changed way more often. And you might say, oh, well, that's because there's a lot more men than women. And that's not always the case. Like, that's not always the case. And honestly, I could make one roll of paper towels work in a women's bathroom for 3-4 days. And it has to be changed like every other day in the men's bathroom. It's just a thing. But I don't know. Yeah. Got him. Busted. Thoughts on getting a UV light? Is that the thing that you put in the back of your toilet and it's supposed to clean by UV rays? It's UV treated water that flushes to the toilet. Sure. Or you could just clean your toilet every week or so like a normal human. There's so many people that are buying things to like eliminate jobs. Like, and I don't mean like workplace jobs you get paid for. I mean like a job that you should do at home. Like everybody wants everything to just be automated. And I don't know why people are so dead set on not having to know how to do all of these things or not practicing them. Like normal things that people and humans should know how to do. Like you should know how to clean your bathroom, and you should do it. Like that's part of the thing. There should have to be, it's almost like it feeds into the mentality of people feel like there should be no consequences for things that they do because you do this thing, you make this mess, yet you don't clean it up. You just continue to deal with the mess. And there should be consequences for things. Like you didn't clean your toilet for a month and now you have these stains all around it. Like that's that's your punishment for it. But oh no, I'll just pay someone to come in and clean it. Which I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get to the day to where I'm going to have someone to come in and clean my house. But right now, I'm almost 40 and I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Like, I mean, my room's not spotless, but like it's that's another thing. Like, I kind of I take pride in my OCD and in the fact that how charged is this? 100. Let's unplug you. I take pride in the things that my OCD creates. Like, I have some clothes in the dryer right now, and yeah, when they come out, and you'll probably see me do it, I'm gonna like flatten them out over here so that they don't wrinkle as soon as they come out of the dryer. Pair up all of my socks and hang up the shirts. It's a load of whites. It's a load of whites. Boy, a load of whites is what I've given several women in my day. They're like, "Oh, you going to see a lady?" Yeah, boy, I gotta drop off a load of whites. Nailed it. Oh man, I don't know if it was because I was raised by a lot of women, but I've always been very clean. I've always been like I dare say that I was the cleanest person in my family. And that's saying a lot. Like, nothing against my folks, but I remember growing up that I always had the cleanest room. I had a super dirty room when I was very young, but then one day something just clicked in me, and I pulled everything out of my closet. Pulled every single thing out of my closet, organized everything, and I was probably, 9, 10, 11, somewhere along in there. And I just started, something clicked in me. You know what's crazy? That might have happened after the accident. I got in the accident. I'm not going to bore you guys with the story. We've heard the story of the accident, right? I fell off the car selling World's Finest Chocolates when I was 8 years old and had an aneurysm and was in a coma for several days and then came out of a coma. And that was sort of when I began really getting music, and maybe that the OCD was part of that. Maybe the brain injury. Maybe the brain injury is what spawned all of that. But anyway, that's just a sidebar. That story is somewhere well documented in one of these podcasts. If y'all want to find it, feel free. Jason might know where it is. He listened to a few of them. Anyway, yeah. One day I cleaned up my room, and it was the back of my head. It was I fell and hit the back of my head on the ground. But yeah. Went through my room and cleaned everything. Like I made it I made it almost perfect. Like it was night and day. And I just kept it like that ever since. And fun fact, my Aunt Marie, who I was talking about earlier, she lived with us. It was me, my grandparents, and Aunt Marie. So the four of us lived in that house, and Marie lived in the room across the hall from me. And there was a time, you know what? This was when I was 9 years old, 9 or 10 years old, because when I was 10 years old, I went to live with my mom. And I lived with my mom for a little while. And when I moved in with my mom, my Aunt Marie would move into my room because it was like really nice and clean. And there was like 3 other rooms in the house. It was a 4-bedroom house. My grandparents' room was pretty much in the center of the house. That was a big that was the biggest room in the house. And Marie would my room was next on the wall next to my grandparents. Like our doors were next to each other's. So I was literally just across the wall from my grandmother and my grandfather. And whenever I moved in with my mom, my Aunt Marie took that room. And I always liked the room out. Like there was a room in the garage. It wasn't the garage. It was a carport that they boxed up and made a room. It used to be the carport that they made an additional room. It was just a huge room, which that was actually the biggest room in the house. Wasn't my grandparents' room. It was that room for sure. And it was basically like the music room. So that's where I wanted to stay because I had some bunk beds out there. And then eventually we put like a big king size bed out there. And I moved out there in that room, and like it was spotless. I had like a little workstation where I used to like make shit out of hemp and seashells. Like I had like it was an old sewing table that didn't have the sewing machine in it. Like that was my little workstation kind of. But I would clean that up, and then I would decide, okay, I want to go live with my mom again for a little while, and I'd go back to my mom in Latta, or Sellers actually is where they lived, and then Marie would just move into the next room. But the thing is that I would just clean up all of these rooms as I would move back. I would just take the dirty room and make it like a project. I love that. It was so much fun to do. But I missed that so much. Like just that outside room. That was best room I've ever had, dude. This is a good room. Don't get me wrong. This is a real good room. Because this has everything in it. This room has literally the shower, the bathroom. It has everything that I would need minus kitchen. I have it all here. But that room was top room. 100% top room ever. Huge high ceilings. Like I had my drum set out there. I had my granddad's Wurlitzer that is now my Wurlitzer that my dad has. Like, dude, it was such a sweet room. And I was like, I was in the garage, basically. So, like, you had to go through a door to get to my door. And so it was just like, if both of those doors were shut, I could be louder and stay up late. Because I like to stay up late. I'd always stay up late. So I would just sit out there and stay up until whatever hour of the night that I wanted to. But, yeah, that wouldn't matter for me, Pooter. My room's blacked out anyway, and my room does face east. Only thing that I notice about it, though, is my room gets like a lot hotter than the rest of the house because the sun hits my room first, and it's just beating on the walls outside of my house. So, like in the summertime, my room is about no exaggeration, over 10 degrees hotter, sometimes 15 degrees hotter than the rest of the house. No exaggeration. Bedroom talk. That was fun. I miss that. There's a thing called a mind palace. I heard about this in Hannibal, the series Hannibal. It's about Hannibal Lecter, played by Mads Mikkelsen. It's a really good series. Like, I encourage you to watch it if you haven't. It's very, very good. He talks about his mind palace, a place where he can go inside of his head, and he has like he describes his mind palace as like the front foyer of his mind palace is the entrance to the Louvre, and like the ceilings are the Cathedral Sistine Chapel painted by Michelangelo. Like, he talks about his mind palace of how he's designed it. But my mind palace is literally just that house the way that it was. Just that house is the way that it was. Like, that room, like, just that whole room, the way that it is in my mind, the way that I remember it, the smell of it, just all of it. That's my mind palace. The happy place. That's right, your happy place. But I don't know. I like the thought of it. But I've always been I was always like very much the cleanest person. Like my grandmother was probably like clean like that too, but she was the kind of, she moved in a way that I learned from. She would clean as she went, so that by the time she finished, like, there was no mess. You know, you left it the way it came. You left it the way you found it. So, yeah, I sort of do that. I'll clean as I'm cooking. Like, yeah. That was a good one. Let's go ahead and take a little heartburn pill before we forget about it. That guy. I'll forget to take these things. Those are tasty though. They're like berry, but I'll forget to take them, and then I'll be laying in bed. This is actually what happened to me Friday. This is why. This is why I missed work on Friday. But I'll forget it, and I'll lay down. And once I'm in bed and I'm falling asleep and I remember and think, oh shit. And then I'll start doing the math. What did I eat today? Is it for sure going to give me heartburn if I don't get up and take this pill? Or should I just lay here? And 9 times out of 10, I'll just lay there and I'll deal with the consequences. But man, Friday, I came home Thursday. I had a bunch of Dominoes. And when I say a bunch of Dominoes, I mean I got I went crazy with that $6 deal that they've got, where you can get unlimited mix and match medium. Yes, I have acid reflux. I get an unlimited medium pizzas, breads, the tots, pastas, for $6 basically. So I just got a order of bacon, cheddar tots, or a stuffed cheesy bread, and I got 3 medium pizzas as well. So 5 things. I got a pan double pepperoni, which, by the way, Domino's pan pizza, better than Pizza Hut used to be, I believe. Better, and I know that's a lot to say, but Pizza Hut back in the day was the jam. I think Domino's now is better than Pizza Hut was then. But that's just me. So I got a double pepperoni pan pizza. I got an supreme pan pizza. And I got Philly cheesesteak thin crust, crunchy thin crust. I like the thin crust. I don't mind the hand tossed either. Like, it's not bad, but the pan pizza is like, it hits way different, and it reheats so much better than regular pizza. Like, the extra bread helps to more evenly, because you know when you heat pizza up in the microwave, it'll be like freezing cold in one spot and flaming hot in one spot. You never can get it just right, and if you do, it's too hot and it's not enjoyable. Well, the extra bread in the pan pizza kind of eliminates that sensation so that it more evenly heats. But the best thing about those pizzas, the pan pizza, is that you can literally reheat it on the stove in a pan with like low heat, and throw it on like a pan, and then drop a little bit of water in with it and cover it up to create the steam. So the steam will melt the toppings on top, and the pan will crisp up the bottom really nicely. So you get almost like this not breadstick, but like a crust, like a real thick, crunchy crust on the bottom. It's really nice. I ate all the leftover pizza yesterday that I had left. I've been crushing leftovers, dude. Yesterday I had a steak, and I think tonight I might have another steak. I think that sounds like a good plan. Thanks to an anonymous donor. Shout out to you. You know who you are. Like yesterday I did one so good, man. It was like I got it about medium well, and I would have just pulled it earlier, but I just wanted those marks on it, those hash marks. I wanted to see the hash marks. I'm obsessed with that. I might do tonight's different, though. I might do tonight's I might do a little cast iron tonight because I'm running low on the propane in the grill. And I'm not going to get it filled until next week. Oh, preheat on the Traeger. Yeah. Zigzag Live IG. Hell yeah. I might could do that. I might could do a little mobile deal. I need to fashion this microphone stand. This is the microphone stand that I use when I take the clip that's holding this phone out. And I need to get another, like, this is the microphone stand. This is the microphone stand that came with the zigzag mic. I need to close this thing up on here and find a way to have this guy mounted there so that everywhere I move the camera to, this guy is also there. That'll be a nice little, I could just do it like that. And just like, yeah, that would work. I got it. Figured it out. I'll do that later. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. I might just do this and enjoy all that. I tend to cook better when I'm not filming. My chop on towel, that's on a mic stand that's upstairs in the upstairs studio. For when we would do the Kelsey Hudgens show up there with producer JP, which we'll do again. We will. I've just not, I mean, I haven't felt like doing anything other than just sitting here and streaming, because, you know, I can do it here. And, you know, I can do this and get scratch the itch that I need by releasing content. And the quality is much greater upstairs for sure. And the production quality is like, it's very nice up there. But this doesn't look bad. I mean, and this is an iPhone 7. Look, I mean, it's like it's, the autofocus is really nice. Like, see, it does a nice job. And this is a single camera iPhone. So as long as the light's good, and the light's good, I got a nice little boom light up here. And when the light's off, it looks not great. See, not as great, right? You see how it's grainy now? Like, ooh, this doesn't look good. See, here's a little trick for you guys. This is the difference in lighting. Like, see, this is just a little grainy now and not the best. But then you pop the light on, and then all of a sudden this turns into like a, wow, that camera looks kind of nice, right? It's just, you know, I think it's all about the lighting. Neat, right? Neato, right? I dropped a little clip on my Instagram last night that ended up doing pretty well. It was a clip from a Kill Tony a while back. It was like one of the first few Kill Tonys that I was on. And did pretty good on Instagram. Got almost 2,500 views on Instagram, and let's look on YouTube. Shorts, 2.5K on YouTube. So between those two, 5K views, which isn't bad, but that's kind of what shorts are getting me. Some of my shorts usually top out around 2.5 or 2.7. But then I was talking to Ty Rivera. Shout out Ty Rivera, by the way. Excellent YouTube wizard. Talking to him, and he was saying, yeah, sometimes shorts will just pop off after a little while. You don't see them. You don't see them or anything out of them for, you know, a few months, and then all of a sudden you'll start getting, it'll pop off again, like way later on, which is kind of neat. I've been releasing a lot of shorts. Yeah, releasing a lot of shorts, and I don't like why I'm doing it because I'm doing it to grab views and scoop up subscribers on the side as well. Like, I'm really trying to get to 1,000. By the way, if you're here now and you have any kind of way to help me get to 1,000, please, let's do that. Like, oh man, he could have been. I'm definitely not his type. Yeah, no, that is not what happened. I can assure you. I am not his type, 1,000%. But yeah, yeah, if you can help me get to 1,000 subscribers, man, that would be swell. Share these things, if you will. I know that it's pretty much just the same group that's in here all the time, but I like releasing content, and this is one of the things that I want. I want to make this my job eventually. I want to be I want to be able to like sustain myself this way. And I think getting to 1,000 subs is the first step in that. And I've been pretty committed. Like, other than the last few, like, I don't know how long's it been since we did this. Let's look in here. So I think it was Christmas. Yeah. It was Christmas, and then I streamed a little bit at work on the 3rd. But I've been pretty good about releasing content, like staying on top of releasing regularly, streaming regularly. So I would do, like, on average more live streams. And hell yeah, Panic. Well done. Yeah, just I don't know. I want to make this thing real. Like, I always looked up to Red Band being able to just create pretty much a nice life out of inevitably, like, streaming and YouTube stuff. Like, that's the goal, bro. Like, that's the only thing is I don't work near as hard as he did. He's got a work ethic that a lot of people don't know about. Like, his work ethic is like, something that not a lot of people have. And there's a reason why he ended up where he ended up, because of how hard he works. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't have that. I don't have that work ethic that he's got. But I got a little bit of it. I got a little bit of it. So if I could just be a little bit as successful as him with my little bit of effort that I put in, I'll be a little bit happy with that, I am nice, and that's what people like. That's a kind thing to say. I try to be, and I think deep down is because I'm not as nice underneath it all. Like, I have my moments, that's for sure. But underneath it all, like, I still have selfish thoughts, and I still have these I don't know. I think everybody has that, so I mean, I shouldn't make a big deal out of it, but I have selfish thoughts, and I don't always, I act selfishly in certain parts of my life, and that's not the best thing. So I guess I try to make up for that excessively in other areas of my life. I try to repay back the karma. I'll do the loops again. It's in this bag sitting down here. That bag down there. That bag. They're all packed up in there because the last time I took these to Sunset, the last time I took those to Sunset, I was playing on a Monday, and I think it's the last time I played, actually, at Sunset, now that I think about it. I was set up and ready to go. I was excited. I was about to do something that I never really do in front of people. And the list got pulled, and I was on the mothership mic. So I'd forgotten that I said I was going to do the mic, and I went over, and I was just. This was crazy. This is a funny story. I found out I was on the mothership mic like 30 minutes before I'm due to be there. Because they walk us all into the room at the same time. All the comics go in, and they're sat in the back of the room. So I wasn't even and I had asked to be on the mic and forgot, and still got put on. And I'd asked 2 weeks prior, hey, can I come back in a couple weeks? And got the go ahead. And then 2 weeks came by, and I didn't hear anything. I didn't get any confirmation other than just I was on the list. And I was like, oh shit, so that's how it works. I just keep up with that shit. That's wild. And I went and did it, and it was one of my best sets. I went in and I had a good set. I got some good laughs. I got a couple. I think I may have gotten a pop, but I definitely got laughs throughout. Nothing really fell flat. And I got laughs throughout. One of the better sets I had, and it was coming from wasn't expecting to do that. So, really cool day. But yeah, but literally ever since that day, all the stuff's been packed up in that little bag down there. Maybe we'll break it out later on. Who knows? Was I buzzing? In what way? In what way do you mean? Oh, yeah. I was very much stoked. I got the old great set from Adam on that one. There was a time though where I just kept coming back. I would ask to get back on, and once again, I would there's only been a couple times that I've asked and not heard anything back. Actually, I don't think there has been a time when I'll ask, and then I'll see him in the wild, and he'll say, hey, Hunter, you around Saturday? Or actually Monday. How about Monday? Yeah, I am around. Yeah. There's that's I've said it, I'm stoned, so now I'm overthinking about it. There's nothing like that feeling when the guy is walking by and says, "Hey, are you around on this?" There's nothing like that, dude. I've gotten one of those without asking before once, and the bartender from Happy Chicks was standing next to me when it happened. And dude, Adam walked away, and I just started fucking like fist pumping into the ground. Like I don't know, it was like, I don't get that way, but that is one of the most exciting feelings that a comedian at my level can get. Like, that's the pinnacle of what a comic at my level of career could get. Like, man, the guy. And it's so crazy because I watch Norm clips all the time. Like, there's my algorithm right now. If I look at my YouTube algorithm, like, I mean, I guarantee you, like, let's see. Okay. Brian Holtzman is in the second column there as I scroll down. But the point is I don't have to scroll far before I get to a Norm clip. Like, there's just, my algorithm knows I like Norm, is what I'm saying. So I take in a lot of that content all the time. And, like, I'll see Norm talking to Adam and them doing jokes and stuff, and me just being like, fuck, dude, like, I know this guy. I know this guy that sat next to my hero for years. And I know this guy. He knows me. This guy knows my name. Man, there's nothing like that, guys. There's nothing like that. Not trying to brag, but there is nothing like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, you guys are history buffs. I love Norm. Yeah. Comedy, we're doing it. It's been, But, going back to my original point of all this is like the Dominoes that I got, all of the Dominoes that I ordered, we're going back to that. So I ate too much Dominoes. I brought it home, and my roommate, old Tony Fathands, was downstairs playing some Nintendo games. And I shared a bit of the pizza with him, as much as he wanted. And I just kept eating so much. I ate so much pizza. And then I laid in bed that night and thought, oh no, this was Thursday night into Friday morning. And thought, oh no, I hate this so much. This is misery. I woke up with, just as like when you go to clear your throat, there has been acid that has gotten into the like the breathing side of your throat, and you try to clear your throat, and you try to clear your throat, and it just, every time you do it, just feels like you're spewing lava. And I was absolutely miserable, and I had to work that night. I didn't take the pill, and I had to work that night, but I looked into our thing, and somebody was looking for a shift, and I told them they could have mine. And then the next night, like, so I just stayed home that night because the next day I woke up, like, I had the heartburn in the middle of the night, and I had to get up. I took a pill, and it just was an absolute misery until I could maybe a little milk. I haven't done the ginger tea. I've seen you say that a couple times. Maybe I should do that, but I don't see. I feel like ginger tea is the sort of thing. It's like trying to put out a house fire with a squirt gun. So I've been sticking to the omeprazole, which is the only pill that I take, by the way. I don't take Tylenol really, or like I will if it gets bad. I'll take my ibuprofen or something like that, but hardly ever do that. But anyway, I got up and I did that. Somebody was looking for a shift. I was like, you can take mine. So I just stayed home all day, which was good because I let's just say that it took me a while in the restroom that morning. Where it took me a while in the restroom that morning. And I'm saying you that it took me a while in the restroom that morning. And by that morning, I mean like 5 o'clock when I finally got out of bed because that heartburn kept me awake for like 2 hours in the middle of my sleep. Because it woke me up. I think that, like, I don't know the math on from when you wake up to go take a piss to go back to sleep. I don't know what the time frame is in that to where you're just awake. Because we all know that you can wake up to go to the bathroom and then go right back to sleep. Like, it's like you're awake for a minute tops. And, like, I don't know. But that night, I got up and I had to sit on the edge of the bed. What's up, Jade? Got up and had to sit on the edge of the bed for a while and, like cough up and clear my throat. But just doing that would have felt like I was spewing up, como se dice, embers, flaming embers, tiny flaming embers, lava. Yes. That's what it feels like, by the way. If anybody's never, now I would take that from old Tulsi Gabbard any day of the week. I just, if nobody's ever experienced what it's like to have legitimate acid reflux, that's what it's like. It's literally like whenever whenever you clear your throat for whatever mucus may have gone down the breathing side of your throat, like imagine that being lava, like the castle, World 8, you know? Yeah. So I have to take those things. But Friday, I think somebody was just looking for a shift on Tuesday, and I offered them mine. I think I would have been fine, and I felt bad for not being there because on Tuesday, Good Evening News was having some streaming troubles, and I know how to do all of that, obviously. But I should have been there to help them. I'm gonna make it a point to like be there every Tuesday now, just in case they need me, because that was the case this past week, and I wasn't there. That I should have been. But oy vey, what can you do? I need to record more music. I got in a pretty good habit of recording every week for a couple of months, and we got a couple of good songs down. We're packing up another GB now. I'll give you a chance to pack up your items. Yeah, I got in a pretty good habit of recording pretty regularly, which I need to get back into the habit of. I really wish that my iMac would work properly. It only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is not enough. And the model of iMac that I have, the one that's behind my head over there, is a 2018 iMac. Can you believe that they made a computer in the year 2018 with only 8 gigabytes of RAM? I got 32 in my desktop here. Yeah. Yeah, honestly I do, because of GarageBand. Running GarageBand, once you make more than like once you make more than one track or two track, like the 8 gigs can't handle it. Apple is much better for audio. If I knew how to run Reaper, I would just honestly record here like I used to record. I would just record stuff here in my room and then let Tony mix it, because he's better at mixing than I am. And but I would just record everything here. Yeah, those sunset opening sets have been cool, man. We're 2 months out on the YouTube, so I need to upload. Let's do that now. I'll go ahead and upload next week's release. What will that be? Let's go to channel content, videos, 11.2. That means we're going to go for 11.9. Upload video. I'm going to pop up video. Upload video. Up video. Secret show. Secret pre-show 11:30, 11:23. We need 11.9. Where is 11.9? Ableton confuses me really bad. I need something a little more. That's why I liked GarageBand. What I need is a version of GarageBand that will run on Windows. And I've heard on Reaper that I could download GarageBand skin and use a GarageBand skin over Reaper, but I haven't had any luck. With that yet. So, yeah. Well, it's not in that folder. Where would it be? That is where I keep those. Oh, that's where I'm at. So let's just go over here, see if it's in this folder. Secret show. No, that's September. That's all the way back in September. We don't need those anymore. Let's see. Let's search secret 11.9.23. Enter. Search again in this PC. Is 11/9 the first George Knapp filmed? Ooh. Oh, well, in that case, then it might be in actual downloads. Let's just go here. Okay, no, that's 12/28. That doesn't go there yet. $11.9. Where would I have put it then? Oh, it's probably just one of those IMG 11/11. Maybe I would have gotten it. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, let's look. Not the 2 TB drive, the drive F. I have like 1,000. Yeah, Jade, do you know how to put different skins on Reaper? But do you know how to download like if I can make Reaper look like GarageBand? Because that's really what I want. I just want to be able to use GarageBand on PC. And I know that you can boot camp PC to run a partition of Windows, but I'd really like to be able to run a partition of my PC with Hackintosh, but just a partition. But I haven't been able to figure out how to do the Hackintosh with this thing. So let's go yonder 11/11. Play this. My girlfriend, she's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend. See, I never seem to get a lot. It's been a while since we last spoke. This is gonna sound like a bad joke, but mama, I fell in love again. It's safe to say I have a new girlfriend. Dude, this file is huge. Oh, I know it sounds so old, but Cupid's got me in a chokehold. If that ain't love, then I don't know what love is. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. All right, well, let's change the title of that to Secret Pre-Show. $11.9.23. Enter. So that's the one that we upload. Then we reuse details from the last Secret Pre-Show upload. Reuse that and change the date from 2/9. Oops, something went wrong. Oh no. This video could not be processed. Okay, well, how about let's delete video. Delete draft video. Okay. All right. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Upload video. Select files. Secret Pre-Show. $11.9. Open. Reuse details. Change this to 9. No, it is not made for kids. 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 It sure isn't made for kids. And we'll just let that go. Next. Import end screen from video. Use that. Best for viewer. Save. Next. Checks. It'll take you a while to do that. Schedule for what is next Thursday? Next Thursday, the 11th, January the 11th. Oh, duh, I could have just clicked it. There's a fucking calendar there. I'm stupid I usually go on stage at 7:45 p.m., so we'll set it for 7:45 p.m. on January the 11th. And you know what? We'll set it as a premiere. If that ain't love, then I don't know what love is. January 11th, 7:45. Take a look at my girlfriend. 21 minutes left of the upload. That's like a 7 gig video. The quality is immaculate. It's immaculate quality. Partition Wizard. What are we talking about? Yeah, Pro Tools. You have to have like I think you have to have like a degree for Pro Tools to work. Ableton. A lot of people like Ableton, and I play all of my, and I don't really use any of the instruments. Like in GarageBand, in GarageBand, I would maybe use the drum track sometimes. But yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I just used these things to record the instruments. Like that's all it was just a friendly. I came up on Sony Acid Pro. I don't know how old you guys are, but Sony Acid Pro was my introduction to recording. Like the Acid Pro was like it was great. And when I switched to GarageBand, by the way, GB's pack. We're sparking in a second. Holla. Yeah, Audacity, 100%. I remember Audacity as well. But yeah, I remember thinking that when I got GarageBand was like, oh, this is just like Acid Pro. And I got so good with the shortcuts. That's why I like GarageBand, because I used it for over a decade and I know all of the shortcuts. So editing on GarageBand it's so easy for me to do. Like I'm so good at GarageBand. Let's spark them up. By the way, I'm going to remind you, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Why not, guys? It's just us. And plus, there may be some people out there that want to be part of this. Here's what YouTube's about. The things that I'm saying, they don't really matter. Like, of course, it makes me feel good to speak in front of people that are able to hear it, which is the narcissism in me that that we like to talk about in Virtual Red Band a lot, and that's what we all joke about is that's because it's the truth. That soothes the narcissist in me. But really all it is this is just a place for you guys to meet up together in the chat and be there together. And it's just a thing. That's what this is really all about. And I realized that back in the early days of me hanging out with my boy Jamie Deluxe online. Like, I remember when I first started watching Jamie Deluxe go live on YouTube on the Stone Philosopher. He's a big Harry Potter fan. He made his channel the Stone Philosopher, like the Philosopher's Stone. He was the Stone Philosopher. And he did basically just this. He would sit and he would just smoke and just talk with his chat. And I kind of, I stole that I stole that from him. Like, not in like a weird way, but I told him, man, I really want to start doing this stuff. And he was like, dude, anything that you get from me, take it from me. Like seriously, like anything that you learn from me, like do it seriously. And like, he gave me permission to do so. And like, I kind of like, after Jamie would go live, after he would end his stream, oh no, we just lost Jaws. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to restart my computer soon. Is there updates that need to happen? No. But yeah, do any of you guys know who Jamie Deluxe is? Are you familiar with Jamie? The Stone Philosopher. He would do this thing, but this is what it's about. This is what YouTube is about. And it's literally just creating a space for the chat. That's what I learned there, is because Jamie would go live about every night, and I would get in the YouTube chat with all of Jamie's subscribers, and there would literally be like, 30 or 40 of us sitting there chilling every night while he was editing his videos or whatever, just talking with us. And it was sort of like we would be having a conversation in the chat, and he would just chime in on it as he was doing other stuff, which was cool. And I realized that it creates community. That's what I enjoy about all of this stuff, which is one of the things that I kind of prefer more about doing the smoking chats than the actual podcast, which I need to bring back the actual podcast where I have guests on, where we actually talk about things rather than just go and look at, like, react to things like videos on Reddit and shit. And yeah, just like, I like being able to talk with you guys. That's fun for me. I have Reaper on here, by the way. I just don't know how to use it. I open it up and I don't know how to. I don't know how to use it. So I could do Reaper by 64. Let's open it up. New version notification. Proceed to download page. Oh, you know what? Let's okay. Nah, I don't feel like messing with it. Reaper's clunky. Yeah. What is Studio One? Let's see what this is. Studio One. What's that called? Studio One 5 Prime. Oh, Personas. Hell yeah. Send it over. By all means. Pro Tools, too many files, you mean? I like Personas. I actually have, for the longest time, I used a FirePod to record into my old Mac. My old Mac, it was an iBook, and there's a like an iBook had a FireWire input, so I would just do a FireWire into the FirePod that would have like mic inputs on it. So I would run like a mixer into the FirePod into the iBook, and yeah, that was good. Like that worked. I recorded a lot of really good shit on that little book, on that little iBook. I recorded a lot of really neat sounds on it. In fact, the original Norm Macdonald, well, that was just a beat. I didn't record any stuff with it, but this intro here, this thing, that was one of my first beats that I ever made.
Kelsey, Norm Macdonald here.
Normie.
So you have a podcast, huh? Fantastic.
Yeah, once Norm gets done, you'll hear
the world needs more of podcasts.
Tell him, Normie.
Live from the Screwball Whiskey
I didn't do this. I did this in post, but the beat right here, this little beat. I made this on that little iBook. It was cool. I used to make ringtones for people. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. I really is, and there is no way to partition a part of this PC for that, right? What voice? The Norm voice? I pulled that from my that was Norm. I pulled that from the cameo video that he did for me. Yeah, I'll have that forever. I'll have Norm Macdonald talking to me forever. He did a song too. He said, "What the world needs now is podcasts, more podcasts. That's what this world needs a little more of." Just kidding. I've heard it so many times, like
Norm Macdonald here.
Here he goes.
Hey, Kelsey, Norm Macdonald here. So you have a podcast, huh? Fantastic. You know what I always say? You know what the world needs more of? Podcasts. What the world needs now is podcasts. More podcasts. That's what the world needs a little more of. No, I'm just kidding. Podcasts are great, and what I like is that you tell me you raised the money for this. You went up, and you raised the money. Then the costs rose, so you bet it all on blackjack and you lost. Ooh, that's a bad notion. And then you say you can lead a horse to water, but why? That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, Kelsey. Now you describe yourself as a fella, and I don't know quite why you do that. Is that what you do all? Do people question, like, do you go, hello, my name's Kelsey, I'm a fella. Oh yeah, a fella. You might not know it from at first glance, but trust me, I am a fella. Is that what you do? But anyways, Kelsey, good luck on your podcast. Do you want me to plug it? Do you want me to say the name of the podcast? Is that what this is all about? Because I'll do it. I'll even tell people to follow you. Okay, here we go. Ready? If you like stuff, then check out the Am I Stuff podcast with Mr. Kelsey Hudgens. He's a fella.
Nami. Hockey, Nami. Nami. Ha. 13 minutes left. 13 minutes left on the processing of the this week's secret show. So this week's secret show is going to be the introduction to the 4K recordings, which are pretty good. Pretty good. There's only a handful of us here. I may give you a little preview of it. Privet, comrades. A little preview for you. Maybe. Let's see here. Where do we go? Let's open with a different. Let's open with regular media player. And come here this way, we go to this, we go window capture. We take and say, no, we no longer want for Norm MacDonald. We want for media player. Okay, we come down, oh no, we forgot to, we highlight the wrong frame. We bring this right frame that is this correct frame. Yes. To drop down. Let's give preview, okay? Yes.
My girlfriend, she's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend. See, I never seem to get a lot. It's been a while since we last spoke. This is gonna sound like a bad joke. But mama, I fell in love again. It's safe to say I have a new girlfriend. Oh, I know it sounds so old, but Cupid's got me in a chokehold. If that ain't love, then I don't know what love is. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend. I never seem to get a lot. Take a look at my girlfriend. Yeah, she's the only one I got.
actually
look at
did.
my
See, it took a whole
girlfriend.
song to get it right.
She's the only one I got. Not much of a girlfriend.
I don't want to do that vocally.
See,
Let
I
the
never
guitar
seem
play
to
that
get
part.
a lot. Are we doing all right so far? Goddamn. What a time to be alive.
Hell yeah. Well, that's enough. That's enough. The rest of that will be available on YouTube this coming Thursday at 7:45 p.m. That video will premiere. Yeah, the hair blow machine. See, that hair blow machine is just what we call in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, a fan, because it's hot and the humidity is a mida. The humidity is mida. Let me tell you. Hey, let me tell you about the humidity of Myrtle Beach is mida. The humidity of Myrtle Beach is mida. Hey, let me tell you, that humidity, oh, it's a mida. Too much of the humidity is mida. So, no, seriously, we have to have fans. I have one over here. I have one under my desk here. I really enjoy fans. I like the fact that I can be, oh, it's a little warm, and I can just click it on, and suddenly I feel better. It's just they're one of the small things in life that you can count on to continuously make me feel different, which is all humans are looking for. I've got a GB pact. All people are looking for is something to change the way they feel. That's all it's all about. That's why some people get hooked on drugs. That's why people enjoy good music. You know? It's just, it's all you want is this people want something to change the way they feel. Thank you, Scooter. I'm your fan. Get the Patreon chat. That's right. Jason gets it. Shout out to Jason. Jason has been a giant supporter from day one of the Patreon. We are now up to 15 patrons, but I'm pretty sure that Jason was one of the first 3, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out, big homie Jason. Oh, yeah, if I get big, I will 100% sell little handheld fans. But yeah, this is the thing, is that we used to bring fans because it was just hot. It was super hot. And I'm honestly like, the reason I first started using the fan was just for that reason. But I started to realize that when my beard started growing out, that my hair would get caught in my beard, and in the middle of a song, it would get stuck in my beard, and I would end up getting it in my mouth. It was just at that level at that point. Like, my hair was just getting long enough to get stuck in my mouth at that point. So the fan kind of gave me a way to where I could just like back up a little bit and get it to blow the hair out of my face, so that I could easily find out, okay, I see there, I could feel there's a strand right here. So between a strum, I could just take a little swipe, and I could do that both ways. Do a swipe to get the hair out of wherever it was. It'd make it easier to find when the wind was blowing, if the wind couldn't blow it out. But that in turn created a different effect. When I would come off stage, everybody would be like, man, that wind machine on your hair. Everybody calls it a wind machine because they associate it with the wind blowing through the hair, when it's inevitably just a fan, because I'm fat and I really like to be cool. It has a really nice effect, you know? Really nice effect. I love it. Everybody brags about that the most. You know what's funny is I come off stage, and and people are like, "Oh yeah, pause. There we go. Let's do that. You're right. I got a GB pack." I'll come off stage and like out of the 20 plus years that I've literally been performing in front of people and all the experience that I have in that, they talk about my hair. And it's just kind of funny to where I'm like kind of making it a thing where I'm like, man, if I didn't have the hair, is the music that good? Like, am I good to listen to? Like, or am I inflated because of the experience that people get when they watch the hair blow around? I used to do gigs with the bun. On top. And in the summer, I would do that a lot. I don't know. I didn't really notice a whole lot of difference. Maybe I would make more tips if I had the hair down and it was blowing around like that. See, I didn't even think about this type of thing back then. Like, I wasn't, because I didn't know, until I got to Austin, I didn't know that the hair blowing around was like that big of a deal, truly. Because honestly, the band was sort of a big deal back home, and the band grew with me. The band grew with my hair. So, like, we were sort of a big deal with everybody already. So, I mean, I think that the hair was second fiddle to the band. But I get to Austin, and that's all that everybody talks about is how the hair blows around. Red Band told me the other day in the green room that I should shave my head and shave my beard and then do a blog every day of growing it back. And I almost cried. It made me sad to think about that. Yeah, it made me sad to think about. Oh, yeah, we got Jaws going. I came out of, this playlist is my sleep playlist. So usually I will go to sleep to either Jaws, and that rolls into the Meg 2. I don't know why I like shark movies. But the Meg, they're so much fun, dude. They're corny as shit. I mean, it's 100% corn. It's very corny, but it's good, dude. It's like, it's a good movie. The Megalodon is a good monster. I enjoy it. But yeah, this playlist is Jaws, The Meg 2, and then Fear Street Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. That's 94, 78, and 1666 of the Fear Street, and then the Fear Street rolls into the original 1990 It, and then it repeats. So Jaws is the first movie in the playlist, and It was the last. So that was finishing up a minute ago. I used to have It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 in here, the modern versions of them. But I don't know. They don't comfort me the way that the other one did. And these playlists are created all out of comfort. For a long time, it was Stranger Things. It was Stranger Things for over a year. And it was Jurassic Park for 3 or 4 years. Like, no lie. For 3 or 4 years, there was a DVD player that I still have. It's in the living room. It's a DVD player with a zip drive plug-in on it. And I had a regular TV, one of those big heavy TVs, a giant heavy TV that never went off. It was always on in my room, constantly. Like, it was the single Jurassic Park on repeat. So I knew, being out in the world, that at home Jurassic Park was playing. It was on, and it was just it was playing. There was I think on TikTok, when I still had TikTok, most of my TikToks was me getting up to go to bed, walking into my room, and showing what scene of Jurassic Park it was on when I went to bed. I love Jurassic Park. I spent a long time yesterday trying to figure out how to watch it in 3D on my VR headset, and I I figured it out and it was underwhelming. So there's something that you know now. Fear and Loathing was okay. I didn't go down that road too hard. Jade, do you know how to, yesterday I went through the process of downloading and, like deleting and then re-downloading different apps. Yeah, I had to download a couple of different apps because I have the file for the Jurassic Park 3D. But I would really I don't know. I think that the best way to do it for those 3D movies, I want the actual good 3D experience, is to go into some sort of thing and actually purchase the good copy. That way I can, I want it to be like full screen, you know? What about Jurassic Park here? Jurassic Park, if I had to choose, is the fave. You're right, I won't. If I had to choose Jurassic Park, one movie for the rest of my life, I don't know. I love Jurassic Park. That was the first movie I saw in the theaters. And I was a kid. I was 7. I was 7 when Jurassic Park came out. And I remember going to the theater in Laurinburg. We went to the theaters in Laurinburg, North Carolina to watch it. And I was young, and I loved dinosaurs. And I was like, oh, this is a dinosaur movie. And then we get there, and it's scary. And I remember crying, and I think we might have left because I was scared. I don't even know if we saw the whole movie. We might have, but I remember getting scared, wanting to leave. Because that's what's beautiful about Jurassic Park is Jurassic Park for a 7-year-old is a horror movie. Nick in the house. What's up, BK? 100p corn. Got him. Holy smokes. How ironic is it that Nick BK is here when his namesake is... or his face's sake is going to be on the screen behind me shortly. Nick looks just like, what's his name? Quint. He's got the big chops. That's funny. But yeah, dude, Jurassic Park, and the water scene, that's one of the greatest scenes in film history. If we take them all, that's got to be somewhere within the top 25. The water cup just rippling slowly, and them slowly realizing that there's a Tyrannosaurus behind them. That's such a great scene. The chase is whatever, but just the scene of the cinematography of the water rippling in the man. There's nothing like that. I really enjoyed that. Nick BK doing comedy out in San Diego. You still over at the La Jolla Comedy Club? The La Jolla Comedy Store? Nick, I saw that they were hiring some new door guys the other day. Oh yeah, dude, the raptors were the scariest thing on the planet. In that kitchen scene where you see the thing like go up and just breathe in the steam breathing into it was so real. Everything looked so real. Nothing looked fake. It didn't look cartoony. It was so well done. It was like, man, this is what a real dinosaur looked like. For 1993, considering, like, looking back at what they had to their disposal back then, man, that movie really holds up. And it's almost the perfect movie. I said this to Derek Poston one time, and he kind of made some points that made me second guess what I was saying. But I kind of stand by Jurassic Park is almost the perfect movie. It has the animatronics in it are impeccable, and everything looks so real. Everything, even the chilling in the tree, dude. Like it does look better than the Marvel shit. And the score, that it kind of has that John Williams. It kind of has a little Star Wars to it. It's very similar to, the what's it called? What's the Star Wars theme called? It's very similar to that, to where it has that. Oh yeah, well I mean it has that the signature John Williams. Very much kind of like Harry Potter, almost has the same. It has that same John Williams touch. It just sounds like him. He's such a good. He brings such good melodies to life, such great melodies to life. Like, and he has such a beautiful, because I play these things on guitar. He has such a beautiful motion in between the majors and minor chords and when to go to which. That's like, man, he's really nice with it. He's really nice with it. Mommy Mobile. Dude, I to this day, and like, even later in life when I got into David Lynch, it further solidified my love for Laura Dern. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, man, Laura Dern is it in that movie, bro. And me and Marcus talk about this. Marcus Oland, we talk about this a lot. He's a huge Jurassic Park fan. We went and seen Jurassic World Dominion in the theaters together, me, him, and David Cinefani. And then me, him, and Mumford Davis went to the Jurassic World live exhibit at the Moody Center. And yeah, that shit was fun, dude. A lot of kids there. That was weird. Like, that was strange. 3 grown men walking around, and there's just like a lot of families and a lot of kids, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. And we were all like, they were on like edibles. Marcus was on a bunch of edibles, and like, it was hilarious. Love you back, Nick. Good to see you, buddy. The lead singer of Toto is John Williams' son. Well, bless the rains. I'll be damned. Speaking of weed makes your internal thoughts come out. My normal life makes my internal thoughts come out. I'm what they call an oversharer. By the way, I should clip this and put it out to anybody who might see it. If you've ever had a conversation with me before and I've revealed a little too much in that one moment, and you're like, why he didn't have to say all of these? Why is he sharing this with me? It's because I can't help it. I have mental damage. It causes me to spew out things that I shouldn't say. I overshare, and I can't help it. Can't help it. Two guys and a gal opened up the Eric Griffin show tonight. Hell yeah, dude. How'd you do? Did you do well? Did you do well there? You may be a little bit behind on the live, Nick, if you're just responding to that now, unless you're responding in way post. Yeah, I do blame the aneurysm for things. Of course I do. It's all the aneurysm's fault. No, if you wonder, I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person. I wasn't even thinking about the aneurysm. I guess I should stop saying that because it could be real. Oh my God. My world is melting around me right now. Yeah, if I've ever overshared, sorry. That's who I am as a person. That's just who I am, and that's what you get. And a lot of people are still there, so it doesn't seem to be too big of a problem. And if people do have a problem with it, well, that's their problem. And it's not my problem. Not my problem. Not my problem, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. What is my problem right now is this GB sitting in front of me. Let's light him up. Light them up. Let me tell you guys about what I've cooked recently. The other day, I want to tell you guys the Supermercado story, the Hispanic grocery store. So, I've lived in the same spot for a couple of years now, and I've lived in what is called a food desert because I'm X number of miles away from from a grocery store, living a certain number of miles. But they don't count the Mexican grocery stores, which is weird because there's one that's literally right next to my house. Like inside the grocery store, there's a taqueria inside. There is a bakery. There's an actual butcher in the back, like cutting actual meats. Like it's crazy. And it's so awesome. Yeah, dude. I went in the other day and I was like, I got about 4 pounds of chuck roast. Well, 3.8 pounds of chuck roast. And I got some carrots and celery and onion stuff to make a pot roast with, something to last me for a while. And I made a pot roast, but I did it differently than I usually do it. I would usually leave it on low for about 10, 11 hours and just let it sit on low. But this time I was like, man, I kind of want to eat this sooner. So I was like, maybe I'll put it on high for 4 hours and then do it on low for 4 hours. That way it shortens the thing to 8 hours of time. But that didn't work. And the meat wasn't coming apart. In a roast, I really want my meat to literally just fall apart. Hey-o, much like that guy on Kill Tony. Did you see it? No, but literally in a pot roast, I want the meat to fall apart. And it didn't do that. So I put it back on low for like another 6 hours, I think I left it in there for. And it still didn't have the result that I wanted from it. I took too much juice out for the rice, I think. Because that's something that I like to do. I made 3 cups of rice, so I wanted a lot of rice because I was gonna like marry this together and just make this big like rice and beef and carrot and celery and onion like mush, basically, for lack of a better term. This is a really good scene in this movie. Yeah, so I had plans to do that, but I took like 3 scoops of juice out of the roast and put it in with the rice, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just left the juice in the slow cooker and left it there to cook more. I also shortened myself on the gravy. I usually did like a couple of gravy packets in there, a couple of brown gravy packets, and also a beef stew packet, because I'm making a lot. It takes a lot of liquid to really penetrate and soften up the beef the way that I want it to be done. So I did that, and after I got it done, it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. I separated it from the roast and the rice. I put them separately in the refrigerator. And the next day, I ended up going to H-E-B to pick up an incredibly well-timed gift from a very fucking cool person. And I ran in and I grabbed a couple of things of brown gravy, and I came home and I dumped all of the ingredients back into the crock pot. I put the stew beef back in there, or the roast beef in there, and I put the rice in there. I mixed it all together. I put the 2 packets of gravy mix in there with it and added the appropriate amount of water. And I stirred it all together, and I left that in the crock pot for like 4 hours. So I put the rice and the leftover rice, the leftover stew beef, and those gravy packets, and left them there. And they turned out okay. I've eaten a bowl of it today. I'll probably eat the rest of it tonight or tomorrow, because surely it'll be bad if I don't finish it by tomorrow, for sure. Yeah. Garlic for sure. You got to put garlic in everything. That's like, you do salt, pepper, garlic. That's the way it goes. That's just what you got to have. That's the thing. Salt, pepper, garlic, and if you don't use onion, you got to use a little onion powder too. Oh no, look it. The shark got him. I like using onions, but if I don't, a little onion powder just for the flavor is nice. I've been doing that lately. There's been pretty much everything I cook, I'll hit with either Lowry seasoned salt or pink Himalayan salt, and then freshly ground black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and maybe a little touch of Old Bay. I've been hitting the Old Bay lately, which I don't regret. Old Bay is like a sleeper flavor, dude. Old Bay is like a sleeper flavor for like even after the fact. Like if you hit Old Bay with some fries, it's pretty strong. But potatoes we're talking about, yes. The baked potatoes that I like to do Like they only take like about, I don't know, an hour or so, hour and a half maybe. But I'll do them a different way. Usually I'll take the potato and I will cut it in half. I'll just slice the potato in half, and then I will like wedge a pat of butter in the potato and go ahead and salt and pepper both sides of the potato with the butter, and then wrap that in aluminum foil. I gotta do that. I do the same thing with a sweet potato. I'll cut the sweet potato in half, and I will hit it with a pat of butter. But instead of doing salt and pepper, I'll do a little bit of salt and a good bit of brown sugar. Like drop the brown sugar and drop a little cinnamon in there too. Little brown sugar, cinnamon with the salt. And I'll wrap that up and do my sweet potatoes that way. It creates like this really nice yam type. It's awesome. I haven't gotten into the paprika game yet. I might need to get in there. I've heard a lot of people use it. I did use a little cayenne the other day. Nutmeg on mashed potatoes. I don't know why, but that does not sound appetizing. Yo, my mashed potatoes now. I'll tell you my mashed potato recipe. You got to start, wash your taters. You got to wash them taters. And once you get them washed, I'll quarter them. I'll chop them up. That way they boil faster. And I'll quarter them. And I like some skin on the potato, but not a lot. So when you quarter them, some of the skins will just come off. And you can just take those out of the water as you see them bubbling up. And then after you boil them and you've removed the amount of skin that you want to get out of there, because I like a little bit of skin in the mashed potatoes. I think the texture of it kind of adds a thing. And not everybody likes it, but I really enjoy it. But the last time I made them, the few people didn't like the skin, so I pulled all of the skins out. But if I'm making it for myself, I'll leave a lot of the skins. Well, not a lot. Maybe a little bit less than half. Maybe a little bit less than half or half the skin. Anyway, I'll take these sons of bitches after they're done boiling, and I'll drain them, and then I will probably put a whole stick of butter. I'll probably drop 3/4 to a whole stick of butter, and maybe like a teaspoon of minced garlic, and not healthy portion of salt, you know. Yeah, they'll be salted a little bit, because I'll salt the water a little bit. I don't salt it like pasta water, like too much. But now when you're talking about mashed potatoes, like that much butter, it does sound like a lot, but I'll make like a bag of mashed potatoes at a time, like a lot. Like I'll make like a large serving of mashed potatoes. This isn't like I'm not putting a half or like a 3/4 of a stick of butter in my personal bowl of mashed potatoes. But like, yeah, probably 10 potatoes. But yeah, I'll do the butter with all the other seasonings I mentioned, but I'll hit it with a little heavy cream. I'll hit it with just a splash or two of heavy cream and whip it with a fork until I get to the consistency that I want, because I also like a little bit of that baked potato crunch. Not crunch, that's a bad word, because I don't want any of it to be crunch. It's like a creamy bite, but you can feel the substance, you know what I mean? I really like that. but hit it with a little bit of heavy cream, and they whip up so nice. And I'll fork them. I'll fork those motherfucking potatoes. I'll fork them to death. And then whenever they're tired of getting forked, I'll keep forking them. And then I'll keep just forking, man, just forking it. I'm forking, fork, and I'll just fork them down. And then by that time, they're usually in pretty good shape, and everybody's usually pretty happy with them. But yeah, the minced garlic in the potatoes afterwards, give them that and if you want to next level it, you could literally like roast that garlic up. Like you could put the you could put that garlic in a pan and like literally roast it up, get a little heat to it. That changes the flavor dynamic a little bit, takes a little bit of the raw acidity from it and leaves a little bit of the nice garlic flavor. And then you could throw the butter in with that and reduce that down, and then stir that reduction into the potatoes if you wanted to. Or if you want to go old school, you could do like take those potatoes in that butter reduction, and you could pat them out into like little potato patties, and you could like literally fry up little crispy little potato patties. I'm so fat. Bacon grease is the thing, bro. I still got bacon grease in my pantry from that bacon that I was making all the time. I never got rid of any of the grease. Hell yeah. Garlic. You just eat a garlic clove. Oh yeah, you got to save the bacon grease. Yeah, I still got some that I use whenever I'm like, the last time I made the hamburger steak that I didn't film, I usually wouldn't do this because they already come with enough grease, like the hamburger meat produces enough grease on its own that you kind of have to keep draining it if you want it to be crispy. But I dropped a little bacon grease in there before I did it because I wanted to change the flavor of the meat a little bit. Roasted, yeah. Oh yeah, you mean like what you just chop the tops off of them, leave them in the skins, and just hit them with a little olive oil and salt. Put them in the oven. Is that how you do it? Is that how you roast them? Uncovered. That's how you're supposed to do it, though. Like, you literally just take the whole clove or the whole bundle and just like chop the top off of it and like line them up in your pan, and then hit them with the olive oil on the top and sprinkle them with the salt. Yep, and squeeze them out when they're cool. Those are cool too because you can leave them whole, or you could leave them whole, or you could like just they'll just crush. You could crush them on top of toast. Like they literally just like they smear nicely. Boy, I'm telling you, if anybody who knows me, they know that there's nothing I like more than a good smear. Nothing I like more than a good smear. Talking about food, I'm getting hungry. I only had one bowl of that roast stuff. I do have a steak that is thawed out. that I will assuredly make tonight. Yeah, I may utilize the old cast iron this evening. Cast iron's a better way to get the crust right on the outside to start with. I'll say that a grilled steak is far superior as far as like some of the flavors that you get from over an open flame, even if that open flame is coming from propane. The charcoal would have its own thing, but then you end up more like a the charcoal flavor, like where the charcoal takes charge. That's the only thing that it takes charge. Did you get it? Charge. The charcoal takes charge. The flavor of the charcoal I really do enjoy. It's very nice. But that's the flavor of whatever you cook. It's going to be, that flavor is leading. You know what I mean? Like, the charcoal flavor is never going to play second fiddle. That's always going to be the first flavor that you get out of something that's made with charcoal. And that's why I've kind of always preferred, the propane. And I cook better with propane. I always have. I've got a GB pack. Do you guys? Yeah, always cooked better with the propane. And I got to get the tank filled again this coming week. We've got the grill's good for now, but if I use it and my roommate goes out to use it again, if I use it and it takes I'm trying to not use it as much right now so that we save the propane for everybody else who needs it, because I'll use it a lot for hot dogs and such, and I'm trying to belay that now. But we have a spare can that is also empty, so we got to take the spare back. We've got 2 cans, so 2 tanks, I mean, which is really cool because you can just take the tank to the gas station and they'll just trade you another one out. I'm going to spark it up, and it's only like $20 for a tank of propane, and that tank of propane will last a good while. I need to get it done before tomorrow because we're grilling, but can't do it. Yep, blue rhinos, that's right. Or can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Not there. I ain't never heard anybody making a smoker out of those things. Actually, maybe. Oh, no, this ain't what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a filing cabinet. Somebody made a smoker out of a filing cabinet. The best smokers are made from like just a big drum. A 55-gallon drum. Get somebody to saw it in half. Oh, good Lord. That breaks my heart. Well, at least I got an electric pellet smoker out back that you can use. I'm not a huge fan of the the Traeger is good. It's a nice tool. It's a nice tool to use, but cooking exclusively on it, well, I wouldn't. That wouldn't work. Unless it's like a big piece of meat that we're smoking, but like just smoked wings, I want to also have them grilled. I want to get the smoked flavor, but I also want to get them grilled. I got high, y'all. I got high. Yeah, an old natural gas tank. We had one of those in our backyards, one of those big motherfuckers, like the it just looks like a big, like it's an actual big, they come and refill your propane in your house because you use natural gas stove and everything. You have a gas line, like your house is heated, but with propane. Like, yeah, dude. I grew up with that. That's how I grew up cooking. Favorite oil to fry in? Peanut oil. All day. Peanut oil all day. But I don't use it as often. I don't really fry a lot of things. Yeah, I don't really fry a lot of things. Like bacon. Actually, my favorite thing to fry in is bacon grease. But it's not an oil. Technically it is, but I like peanut oil. Honestly, Crisco. Hard pressed to find something better to fry in than Crisco. Just straight Crisco's strong. Crisco's good for making biscuits too, like good buttermilk biscuits. Yeah, I would do that a lot. Like if you fry up something in Crisco, it has such a clean, clear. Yeah, fresh lard for sure. But lard, yeah, just frying up something in lard, it has such a nice clear. It's not like a golden brown, like it's just it burns clear. We got a little rice oil. We have a lot of that stuff, but honestly, what I mostly use is because it's the sitting out is the extra virgin olive oil. I'll just use that more often than not because it's sitting there. Hell yeah. Yeah. Lard makes the best like pastries and things like that. It really does. Coconut oil. I never really used coconut oil. I heard that, Rhino. Beef tallow is strong, dude. That's the biggest thing that a lot of chefs say that dude, if you want to make something better, like cook it with beef tallow. Like, I think Rogan cooks a lot of his elk. He uses beef tallow with a lot of the elk that he cooks to supplement the fat that the elk doesn't have on it because it's all lean. And if I'm not mistaken, he does beef tallow, but haven't talked to him in a while. I'm gonna start going to Mothership, hanging out more because I feel like I can, and I just never utilize that ability. like Thursday nights after Secret Show, I should start following everybody over there. See, I don't like truffle. I don't like the flavor of truffle. Oh no. Why though? Why? I'm just going back to there because that's where I like. I don't like the flavor of truffle. Oh no, it's yeah. I people are worried about me because of the food that I eat. I literally like. I posted the video of the hamburger steak I made the other day with the gravy over the rice. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was a hamburger steak that I made, and I poured rice. I did it over rice, and I poured gravy over it. And Casey Rocket sent me a message and was like, "Yonder, please, we love you." How did he say it? It sounds like people are worried. Casey Rocket. Where's Casey Rocket? He gets it. I fucking love Casey Rocket, dude. Oh, no, it wasn't there. It was on Facebook. Casey. Yonder, please, dude. We love you. It was funny. Dude, you sure would love to see Casey Rocket live, bro. That's like, dude, seeing Casey Rocket on TV and seeing him live in person is like the difference in seeing the Grateful Dead live or listening to them on the studio, like on a record. Like, you get it, but you don't really get it. Casey is like one of these things that you almost, and it is comedy. Don't get me wrong, it is comedy. But man, it almost is a hybrid between like just full on riff, I don't know, man. Just it's a hybrid between stand up and like really precise and planned improv. Like, it's very like alt, but not, dude, it's you can't describe it. You can't put a finger on it. It's like you know how you see Robin Williams on stage, how he's just so animated, and yeah, he has that energy about him. I followed Casey last night, and like, listen to this. Hold on a minute.
I'm like, excuse me.
I shouldn't do that.
As soon as I said that, my butthole was like, "You think that's crazy?" And I shit my pants at the same time. And they made me mayor for a day. What did we learn? Thank you, Casey Rocket. Give it up your host, give it up your
Holtzman live is different too. So this is how I came out.
Casey Rocket, ladies and gentlemen, keep it going.
This next guy comes to the stage, a very good friend of mine. You've probably seen him on Kill Tony. You've probably seen him open up for every secret show. Get it going, get loud. My friend Yonder.
I don't move around like that. Casey got more steps in just now than I got like all of last year, basically, dude. Like, I am really leaning into this role at this point. I don't want to lose weight.
I started bombing. I started bombing quick. Here's one lady stopped laughing quietly, and she realized she was the only one laughing. And then the next thing I said, nobody laughed. And I was like, oh my God. I kind of got him back a little bit. Like,
dude, like, I am really leaning into this role at this point. I don't want to lose weight. Did y'all see what happened to that Jared from Subway when he lost all that weight? Turned out he'd been fucking kids. I'll stay fat, thank you.
yeah, wasn't going well.
I enjoy it. I don't want to lose no fucking weight. You ever be in front of a bunch of people blatantly lying, and then you slowly realize that they realize you're blatantly lying?
Yeah, this wasn't going well
Of
at all.
course I would love to lose weight. I don't like to do things. Does that mean, is anybody else just like live your entire life hoping to one day have to just do nothing forever? I wanted that, and I just kind of committed to it earlier than I should have.
There was about 15 people in the crowd, by the way.
I should want to do things more while I'm still like on this side of 40.
Yeah. I got him laughing later on.
I asked her if it had been cleaned, and she said yes. I said, yeah, well, never mind.
Yeah, but see, that's like a bomb, dude, and that was on like a show, like a showcase. I don't know why it is that like I will crush at a mic that doesn't matter. Like I will just case in point. Case in point, check this shit out. Here, this is you hear that? 1:30 a.m.
Alright, I'm gonna come find you. I'll explain who won. We have Swiggy coming up to the stage right now. If he's in the building, Yonder Wizard. Yonder
So check this out. This is a mic.
Hell yeah. You ever fall asleep with your hand down your pants and wake up very confused for a second?
I did that Friday.
Hell yeah. That's real. What else happened? You can't just lay that on me and then just stop there. You did that Friday. Did you think that you were the one with your hand on somebody's dick, or did you think that someone had their hand on your dick? You have to be more specific.
I did an 8 ball, then I went to bed.
You did an 8 ball and you went to bed. What kind of piece of shit coke do you do that you can go to bed after doing an 8 ball of it? What kind of $40 fucking baby laxative piece of shit powdered coffee creamer cocaine do you do to where the guy puts it together with the little twist ties on the top? Definitely an old white man that drives an orange Mustang with racing stripes on it sells you this shitty fucking cocaine that you do. Do meth like a man. It's cheaper and it's better. Do an 8 ball of cocaine and fall asleep. Jesus Christ, dude. Get your fucking money back, delete that number, find better friends.
They were in the back of the room. They had just walked in.
Yeah, you got. That's the sound of all your friends knowing you just got home because I had you got bad cocaine. You know how bad your cocaine has to be to where people don't even want to do it when you offer them? Like, you start going to the bathroom and they're like, I'll see you when you get back. You do all that shitty cocaine by yourself. What's your name? Eric. Do all that shitty cocaine by yourself, Eric. Fucking grow up. Nobody does cocaine anymore. What is this, the 80s? Everybody does ketamine and fentanyl and meth now and shit. I miss cocaine so much.
That was all like a riff.
7-year anniversary of no cocaine. Don't clap though, like nothing's fun anymore. It used to be. Once upon a time. But then I realized that meth was just so much better than cocaine. You know what I mean? Like it was just, it's really so much better. Welcome to you. Come on in, guys. It's okay.
They moved to the front.
You're welcome. Come on in here. Take a seat. Take a load off, will you?
Make me laugh.
All right. Was that not you back there giggling your fucking tits off just a second ago?
It was me, I'm not gonna lie.
I know it was you, because I'm good at what I do when I stand up here confidently and I make fun of the bad cocaine. Which one of you has the bad cocaine? It's you? Jesus Christ. Chill out. He don't want anybody to find out how bad his cocaine is.
Well, unless you're going to Toledo, Ohio, it's pretty bad.
Dude, that was one word that you said that just blended in together and kind of sounded like a sentence, bro. Like you've been gumming the bag a little too much, buddy. You've lost control of your tongue. Your mouth isn't making the same shape. This is what you feel like after you leave the dentist and you got a filling. The lidocaine is working, my friend. My name is Yonder. That's all you get.
Yeah. See, that was just a few minutes set, but I was just even in the beginning when as they were walking in and literally just the one guy was the one that was yelling at me. And then the rest of his people walked in and then they moved up to the front. Like you can hear them in the back laughing. But it was cool because I could see what was happening. And in these mics, nobody sits in the seats in the middle. Everybody sits on the benches along the sides. You have nobody like sitting in front of you pretty much. Bro, I love stand up on the spot. I would murder at stand up on the spot. I would do, dude, it would be criminal how well I would do at stand up on the spot. Oh man, Rhino, you got it figured out, dude. That's all we want in life is just our beautiful wife to come into our office naked and rub her big titties in our face. That's all we want. That's really all we've ever wanted. But nah, dude. There's so much less pressure on those, and I'll feel good about what I'm doing. But what's fun, what's hilarious, is, dude, I'll be like crushing in the green room before I go out. I'll just be playful. I'll be making people laugh just out of nowhere. I'm on. And then I'll go out on the stage and I'll have that same energy, and just the crowd isn't feeling me the same way that everybody in the room feels me because they don't know me, you know? I feel like I'm much funnier when you know me well. Like if you know me well, like the little things that I say make more sense. Like I'll do like little itty bitty like callbacks and references all the time to certain things that just you won't get if you're not around all the time. So I don't know, just making excuses at this point. I have some good sets though. I post a good bit of them up on my SoundCloud, but here lately I haven't been. Let's see. This was a show where a bunch of Kill Tony people were there, but I didn't do well.
Fuck yeah, y'all doing all right?
Big crowd.
I don't like my kids. I'm gonna go home and hit them. I know they've done something to deserve that shit. So when I hit them, I know they're gonna be thinking about a specific fucking thing that they did today.
You hear them pull all the way back? They pulled all the way back.
I don't want to ever see him again.
And I doubled
I
down.
wish that I could do something so fucking heinous that a court system would come to me and say, you can no longer see your children. I'd fuck them. On camera. So that I'd have evidence against them to put me away forever. Are there any law enforcement in the building? How long will I? Hold on, all right, calm down. Calm down. You can beat your wife when you get home there. Calm down. Look, all right. How long?
Anyway, that's enough. I don't want to hold it. I ain't going to try to put my whole fucking set out there, like my whole shit. That's a good bit. I don't know, man. Yeah, I doubled down, and I want it to be funny. But that's the funny thing is like that's on the street that crushes. Like they just walk by and I'm just like, I hit my kids, and I mean it just murders. It murders on the street. They love it. They can't get enough. Some people are. Some people get scared that it's real. You can tell that some people are like, oh no. But yeah, other people, dude, most people laugh. Most people laugh really hard. Like most people will be like, I'll do something like that. Not about coming clean. Is they'll walk by and I'll say something to the effect of, there's a bunch of different things that I'll say. It will be some variation of being in a loveless marriage with my wife who is having an affair with my son's soccer coach, or not liking my kids, or liking to go home after a couple of whiskeys and taking it out on the kids, or it's some variation of that thing. Is something from that universe of thought. And then if they ask another question, then I have something loaded up already. Like to any question they might ask, I like go so in depth into that like character mentally to where I'm just, I can't wait to get home and beat my kids because I know they've done something to deserve it. And in my mind, that's where the thought comes from, because I used to get beat a lot when I was growing up. And that's my way of like kind of taking that back. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking the power back from that. And like I was beat a lot when I was a kid. So, and it would be like, I knew like they could just beat me because they knew I had done something to deserve it, no matter what. But what's crazy is like, you'll see some people who are really in these situations and you'll see them like get really uncomfortable that you just revealed a truth in them. Like if somebody walks by and it's a couple and they're holding on to each other like possessions, and you go, I'm in a loveless marriage. And then they get really uncomfortable because they're in a loveless marriage and they're just treating each other like possessions and they're not in love. And it's fun too when you see somebody walk by and it's a couple, they're not walking close to each other, and I'm going through a divorce and they are going through a divorce, so they get really like uncomfortable, or the one who is happy about the divorce laughs and the other one aggressively does not. I've seen that a few times. But it's fun to like it's fun to get people pegged, like you can almost see, oh, you just told on yourself by how you reacted at this. Oversensitivity is killing smiles. That's true. But you know what's funny though is I've noticed that if you smile aggressively, if you smile when you say something like that, it's like, my wife's having an affair with my son's soccer coach. And I'll say it really loud too, so it'll like start to project from when they get there. But I say it in such an uplifting manner, and I smile while I'm saying it, that their reaction is just to laugh. It's like the positive of the face and the negative of the words gives them the reaction to just laugh. That's just their natural response, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy being out there and doing that kind of thing because most people really do react well to it. And I think the reason that they react to it so well on the street is because I smile when I say it. And I'm just so happy and silly about it. Yeah. And maybe I'm coming out like more aggressive on stage. Like I'm above them, like I'm not in a seated position on a stool out front. Like I'm going through a divorce. Sometimes after a couple whiskeys, I go home and take it out on the kids. Like it's like I'm not as bouncy about it on stage. I'm so much more comfortable downstairs when I say it. Like I'm in a recliner down there, dude, I'm just chilling. But yeah, I wish I could figure out a way to just be that comfortable up on stage. Maybe I should start taking a stool up there, sitting down. Maybe I'd be more comfortable from a seated position. But I kind of like the fact that they're walking by. Like they're moving past me. I know that they're going to continue to walk that way. But I just really love it when they continue to walk that way laughing really hard. So much fun. Science. Science, bitch. We've been doing this thing for 3 hours and 20 minutes. We may get a little... I'm going to hit this last one right here and go get myself a little bit more food before I lose the will to do so. Just while we're all here, I don't know what your days are like or your evenings are like, or you're in the middle of the night here. If you're about to go to bed, good night to you and good evening to you. But you guys may get another stream before I go to sleep, and it may involve video games. So just keep that in mind. Try removing the word I 30%, 33% less. What does that mean? I can only speak from where I... think from. I can only speak from there where I think. And I'm a narcissist. Haven't we established this already? All right. Yeah. So Roll Tide to you. I will be back. I will be back. In a little while. And we might play some Nintendo games. We'll see. I got to get the setup right, but we'll see. I will see you all later.
And one time at band camp,
Stop me, beautiful!